Apologize. Gu Xing's voice suddenly became sharp, and the demon girl immediately knelt on the ground at the sudden sound. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The demon girl repeated her apologies, but her gaze remained fixed on Gu Xing, with no sincerity in her eyes. Gu Xing shook his head firmly, the last trace of hesitation in his eyes dissipating completely. Nature is hard to change. She had been hesitating whether to use the slave contract on the beast, but now it seemed this decision couldn't be more correct. And Shen Ruoxue saw the demon girl's actions and understood. Gu Xing's sudden command froze the medical room instantly. Shen Ruoxue looked at Gu Xing in disbelief, doubting her own hearing. Wasn't your beast killed by Chen Ziming because of me? Now I'm giving you one back. No, this can't be. After hearing Gu Xing's words clearly, Shen Ruoxue quickly waved her hands in refusal, her eyes reddening with anxiety. Although she currently had no beast, she couldn't accept Gu Xing's beast. If she took this epic level beast, what would Gu Xing contract when he reached extraordinary level? I've already made up my mind. It doesn't matter if you refuse. Your refusal is useless. Solid slowly raised his hand, and a blood-colored pentagram array emerged in the void. The slave contract. The succubus's pupils suddenly constricted, making a sharp sound, the voice twisted and deformed by fear. However, Solid's actions did not pause for a moment. In the succubus's desperate gaze, the blood-red runes mercilessly sank into his forehead. Watching the contract successfully completed, Solid breathed a sigh of relief. This was his first time casting a slave contract, and he didn't expect it to succeed so quickly. However, since Shen Ruoxue only had the strength of a 5th awakening, the originally 8th level succubus's rank also dropped. But as Shen Ruoxue's level increased, the succubus's strength would quickly recover. Only then did Shen Ruoxue feel as if waking from a dream. Looking incredulously at his palm, an epic desire beast had thus become his contracted beast, and it was under an absolute obedience slave contract. The succubus knelt on the ground, her face filled with unwillingness, yet unable to resist due to the contract's binding. The dark purple in her eyes flickered with a humiliating inner light, but she didn't dare to utter a single complaint. All right, the matter is settled. Gu Xing clapped his hands and stood up. This matter was over. He could finally rest for 2 days. The class leader had no other business, so I will leave first. After saying goodbye to Shen Ruoxu, Gu Xing proposed to take his leave. Watching Gu Xing's retreating figure, Shen Ruoxu instinctively reached out her hand to retain him, but ultimately said nothing, only letting her arm fall weakly. In the next 2 days, Gu Xing rarely took Luli to leisurely explore Lingyuan City, from food to local customs. He brought the little girl to experience it all until the second assessment began. When Gu Xing brought Luli to the assembly square, he unexpectedly saw a person he didn't expect. Yingbin, the girl in white holy snow, walked slowly towards him, accompanied by a spirited old man. What are you doing here? Seeing Gu Xing, Yingbin's steps paused slightly, and a hint of chaos flashed in her cold eyes. Yingbin hesitated, biting her lip before slowly speaking. The secret realm. The girl's voice was very soft, and Gu Xing did not notice anything unusual about her. After all, in her impression, Yingbin had always been taciturn. However, the person standing beside her, Ying Xinghe, narrowed his eyes. As a protector who had watched Yingbin grow up since childhood, he keenly sensed the difference in his young lady. Previously, she had focused entirely on her beast. How could she be distracted by external matters? Now, Ying Xing's sharp gaze swept back and forth on Gu Xing, feeling a sense of obstruction in his heart. Did the young lady insist on coming to Lingyuan City just for this kid? But after a moment's thought, his duty was merely to ensure Yingbin's safety. As for her emotional matters, let the team leader worry about that. There are still more than 40 days until the secret realm closes. I plan to participate in the military assessment first, and raise my strength to the 9th awakening before entering. So I want to participate in the second assessment organized by the military first. Gu Xing's gaze fell on Yingbin. The original intention of her words was to let Yingbin arrange things on her own and meet again when the time was right. But I will participate too. Gu Xing opened his mouth to say something, but looking at Yingbin's expression of course, he ultimately sighed helplessly. If she wants to participate, then let her. With Yingbin's strength, plus that hidden old nurse, there definitely wouldn't be any danger. Moreover, she couldn't decide Yingbin's thoughts, so he just accepted it. Soon, the day of the assessment arrived. After experiencing the familiar sensation of dizziness, the 50 students who passed the first round of assessments found themselves in a brand new world. Towering ancient tombs rose from the ground, and a faint mist lingered in the air. In the distance, at the military's temporary command post, the dragon flag of the country fluttered loudly in the unique breeze of the space. Last time she had been wronged. She couldn't see what the entrance to the space looked like at all. For Gu Xing, this was her first official step into the space. At this moment, a military officer walked out. The assessment begins. With the command given, the students rushed towards the assessment area like arrows released from a bow. Entering the assessment area earlier meant a greater chance of leveling up. Gu Xing instinctively looked around, and noticed that Shen Ruoxue's succubus seemed to be in the top 5 of the rankings, especially after her tactics far surpassed Chen Ziming. Even if I don't participate, Lin Yancheng is very likely to win first place this time. Watching the students enter the assessment area one after another, Gu Xing turned to look at Yingbing, who seemed to have attached himself to me. Gu Xing felt a bit helpless. If it weren't for knowing that Ying Xing and the others were lurking nearby, he would think he was a perverted girl who was ignorant. According to Ying Xing, he wouldn't intervene unless it was a life-threatening situation. But Gu Xing knew that Ying Xing should be hiding nearby. He just couldn't sense his presence with his extraordinary mental power. After a moment of thought, Gu Xing accepted that Yingbing would follow him. After all, he had his military emperor to assist in control. The upgrade efficiency of Luli will definitely increase significantly. With this in mind, he no longer hesitated, and walked towards the assessment area with Yingbing. The entire assessment area was divided into 3 levels: low, medium, and high. Gu Xing directly led Yingbing into the high-level area, where almost all the demon creatures were awakened to level 6 or above. This area was supposed to be opened only in the later stages of the assessment, but the 2 of them boldly barged in. Coincidentally, this area was managed by Tang Xinru, who was currently idly eating and battling his summoned beasts. As an extraordinary beastmaster, he definitely wouldn't have come here if it weren't for accompanying Gu Yuqian, especially since the assessment had just begun. It was impossible for anyone to come to this area. How could he endure this for a month? Just as he was mumbling, an alarm suddenly sounded from his summoned beast. 2 students had entered the high-level area. What? The chips in Tang Xinru's hand fell to the ground. Which reckless guy dared to barge in here? Although he complained, his movements were as quick as lightning. As an examiner and safety officer, he had to rush to check the situation immediately. With a flash of his figure, he hurried towards the direction of the two. Meanwhile, not long after Gu Xing and Yingbing entered the high-level area, 3 large ogres blocked their path. These demon creatures, awakened for a long time, emitted a nauseating stench, with dark purple skin covered in writhing markings. Gu Xing's eyes lit up. Demons are different from demon beasts. They may have been demonized due to the infection of demon artifacts, while the former are born from demon artifacts. No one knows where they come from. They only know they are the common enemy of all intelligent races. Demons are divided into 6 levels based on their qualifications: Demon Soldier, Demon Guard, Demon General, Demon Army, Demon King, and Demon God, corresponding to the levels of Ordinary, Elite, Excellent, Epic, Legendary, and Mythical. The 3 ogres in front of him were all at the level of Demon General. Seeing these 3 demons, Gu Xing felt delighted. The purpose of entering the high-level area was to kill demons and level up, and now they were delivering themselves right to his door. However, when Tang Xinru arrived at the scene, the sight before him made his pupils constrict. 3 level 9 demon generals were confronting 2 students. This was not something a newly graduated pre-soldier could handle. His gaze swept over the boy in the center, and he suddenly felt a sense of familiarity. He hurriedly took out the photo given by Gu Qianqian and compared it. "Isn't this Qianqian's younger brother?" Tang Xinru gasped. How did this kid run to the high-level area on the first day of the assessment? He immediately assumed a combat stance. If his best friend's brother got hurt under his watch, he would never be able to face Gu Yiqian again. But just as he was about to make a move, an unbelievable scene unfolded. The 2 in the arena not only didn't flee but instead took an offensive stance. At this moment, Gu Xing and Yingbing exchanged a tacit glance. "Control my output." "Good." Before Yingbing's words fell, the Xuan Ice Emperor had already spread its wings and let out a long cry. The bone-chilling frost storm swept out. The 3 ogres were instantly covered in ice crystals, their movement slowing down. Gu Xing naturally wouldn't miss this good opportunity. Luli's judgment, the crimson sword light burst forth like thunder. The central ogre hadn't even had time to break free from the frost before being split in half by a single sword strike. The remaining 2 demons let out angry roars, but were met with Luli's judgment. The ghostly figure instantly entered. Although she had only awakened to the 6th tier, her attributes had long since crushed these 9th tier monsters. The sword light flashed, and the 2 stone golems responded. As 3 blue lights merged into her forehead, Luli's aura suddenly surged. She leveled up again, reaching the 7th tier of awakening. Luli's attributes improved once more. Gu Xing roughly estimated Luli's attributes. Even a typical 9th tier awakening presale couldn't compare to her attributes. Meanwhile, Xuan, the Ice Empress, also successfully broke through to the awakening period during this battle. Tang Xinru, who witnessed the entire process not far away, rubbed her eyes in disbelief. She had joked with Gu Qianyu that her genius brother would definitely be impressive, but when she saw it in person, she realized how wrong she was. This was not just impressive, it was monstrous. 2 6th tier awakened beastmasters, in cooperation, effortlessly slaughtered 3 9th tier demon generals as if they were cutting vegetables. It was known that when she awakened to the 6th tier, it was very difficult to deal with a single 8th tier demon general. Tang Xinru unconsciously swallowed. She had to apologize for her earlier judgment. With such strength, the Zhengguo Academy would probably fight to recruit them. Watching the 2 continue deeper, Tang Xinru suddenly looked forward to Gu Yujian's expression when he saw his brother's power.